Well guys, I did not expect to see a V-twin adventure bike on the market from Morbidelli, but here we are. In the world of expensive adventure bikes like BMW's GS or Ducati's Multistrada, Morbidelli have come out with the T1002V and T1002VX, which is an adventure bike with a V-twin at its heart and a very cheap price tag. So, if you're interested to find out everything you want to know about the Morbidelli and see how it rides, definitely keep watching and I'll play the intro. There's something a little magical about the Morbidelli name. Back in the 60s and 70s, Franco Morbidelli's bikes dominated the 125cc and 250cc GP championships, engineering masterpieces that made history. Now the brand's back with a new chapter. Morbidelli is now owned by Kiwi, part of China's Qianjiang Group, the same people behind Benelli, blending Italian heritage with modern Chinese backing. Now that brings us to these, the T1002V and T1002VX. These bikes are priced on the road at £8,299 and £8,499 respectively. Right, let's get riding and see if the Morbidelli magic is still alive. Well everybody, we're on it! We are on the launch of the Morbidelli T1002V and T1002VX. Honestly, I've been studying that in my sleep because that is a freaking tongue twister of a model name. But today we're on my stomping grounds. This is familiar territory for me. And I know we have some fantastic roads on this route because it's often my vlogging area. We've got the one and only Richie Vida in front, oh yes. So even though it's spring, it's bloody cold. So the first thing I've done is whacked up the heated seat and the heated grips, of course. Oh! Oh, my bum is getting toasty, my bum is getting toasty. Oh, my hands are nice and warm. Love that so far. So, we're going to head on to the 61 for a bit of razzmatazz. Oh, that sound! Oh, the sound is crazy. Right, so we're going to try and use the cruise control. So we're going to push that out. Is that what you do? You did tell me and I didn't listen. Right, so the cruise control works pretty nicely. You literally just push it to the side, press set, and it sets it. You want to go a bit faster, you press that. You want to go a bit slower, you press that. You want to knock it off, you clutch brake, whatever. Or you can just literally just push the button and it goes off. God blimey, I've got to say these heated grips and the heated seat are fantastic. Woohoo! Okay, so we are off on the Morbidelli T1002Vs and VXs. I'm on a VX today, so I've got the fancy cross sport wheels. And as you can see straight away, we don't have self-cancelling indicators. Oh, listen to that induction noise. What the actual heck? It sounds demonic. It's actually mental. So yeah, with the Morbidelli T1002V and VX, we have a V-twin, which is an 80-degree V-twin. How crazy. Oh, I love this road. I love this road. Yeah, boy. So as I was saying, we have a V-twin
which is an 80 degree, which is very strange. You never hear of 80 degree V-twins. Never. Maybe on some proper old school stuff, but it's not common. It produces 88.5 brake horsepower at 7,750 RPM, and it produces 89 Newton meters of torque at 5,250 RPM. Nationale, baby. Oh, this road. I really, really like this road. It's a fan favourite of mine. Oh, the views here are stunning. This is one of my favourite roads to ride. I love the fact that I'm riding a Morbidelli adventure bike around my stomping grounds. Not stomping grounds, but my vlogging grounds, that's for sure. So yeah, it is a big old adventure bike, 997cc. And I've got to say, the fully adjustable KYB suspension is taking this bumpy road so well. So well. Oh, freaking love these roads. Ah, sheepies. Thank you. Okay, so we're doing the drone stuff, the tracking stuff, but it's actually quite a long run with an awesome little jump. But yeah, it's actually really, it's quite a nice bike to ride this. It's mainly going to be marketed as like a tourer. It should be able to go off-road, of course, because you've got off-road mode where it turns ABS and traction control completely off. But I think this is just made as a bit of a cheap tourer, to be honest. It's lovely. The suspension literally just laps everything up. It does handle really well, since it's quite a big thing. Yeah, that is fun, fun, fun. That is fun, 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 fun. So, with this bike, we have a 20 litre tank, and Luke, who has put a lot of miles on this bike, he has said that he's seen 200 miles to the tank, so that's pretty good going, in my opinion. You know, 20 litre tank, you would expect 200 miles, and yeah. Luke does not ride gently, let's just say. So, yeah, that's quite a good indication that you can get 200 miles to a tank without issue. The seat height on this is 820mm. Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived. This is what it's like for me to sit on this bike. Bear in mind, I am a 5'4" individual, that's 162 centimetres, with a 29-inch inside leg measurement, or 73.66 centimetres for an inseam, and this is what it's like for me to sit on it. We don't have a quick shifter, so we are just blipping down the box using the clutch. Tyres on this bike are standard. You know, it's got some jolly good rubber on it. We have Pirelli Scorpion STR Rallies, and I have so much faith in these tyres. So much faith. The weight of this bike, it is a little bit on the porky side, to be honest. Now, one thing that I should say is don't be put off by the official figures of 265 kilograms. That is for one of these bikes with full luggage and, you know, a full tank. Realistically, I think you're probably looking about 226 kg for something that I'm on without panniers or anything like that. It does seem a bit crazy, the weight on paper, but it's actually not that bad. So what's it like to ride? Honestly, I think when people hear a 1000cc motorcycle, they're expecting, you know, crazy power output figures. It's really not the case with this. I mean, it's got just a little bit more than a Suzuki V-Strom 800 or a Transalp. It's 88.5 brake horsepower. It doesn't give you as much power as you'd initially think, like how it would feel. I mean, don't get me wrong, as you can see, you can get up to the national speed limits, you know, very pleasantly, very swiftly. And it does motorway speeds absolutely fine, as you would have hopefully have seen this morning. Brakes are actually alright. I had to squeeze a little bit, quite a bit, to not run into the back of Mr. Vida in front. And yeah, they stop fine. Now this is where the incredible views start. I really know it's true because I was here on the GSX S1000 GT filming a review. Quite steep up here. And then it flows around and then it should open up. Oh, but the pickup is quite nice and it's got a lovely little rumble with it as well. It's a bike that feels good when you work it, you know. It feels right good, wringing its neck. Because it doesn't give you oodles of power, it doesn't give you masses of power. But what you can eke out of it when you're revving it does feel really good. Another thing about it, it holds a line really, really nice. Like, so nice. Wow, these views, guys, are insane. Yeah, look at the switchgear. Everything is just so easy to find. All these yellow flowers are. This is where it opens up and becomes beautiful. Here, where this fence is, this is what I'm talking about. This view. This is the one. This. Freaking love it. Man, this view on approach to this bend is the one. But yeah, a very comfy bike. We're hitting a national now, so we can rev it a little bit more, rev it in confidence. Look at this. This is epic. The dash is clear as day. Lovely. We've got another Nationale baby coming up, but first we gotta get past the big tractor. Absolutely brutal when you just wind it on. Bumpy, bumpy. Quite tight, as indicated by all the arrows, even if they are hidden in the bush. Gorgeous, gorgeous, baby, gorgeous. Yeah, one thing that I really like that Richie's demonstrating in front of me right now is look how bonny this bike looks. Look how pretty it is with the luggage. And the luggage is dirt cheap. £500 for the whole setup, £499. What the actual heck? Richie has fallen victim to the non-cancelling indicators. Sheepies. Yeah, so sometimes when you want to reintroduce the throttle, like just then I was in third gear, we got it quite slow. I went to just wind the throttle on a little bit, and it does give you a bit of a shunt. A little bit of a shunty McGee. Maybe that's my twitchy throttle hand. More so than a fault of the bike. But I comment on what I feel. Wow. Oh, this is beautiful. These kind of roads. Oh, they're just so flowy, so fantastic.
Well everybody, I am back from a day riding Morbidelli's T1002VX, and I just want to share with you guys some of my pros and my cons. First off, I think a pro that you just can't ignore is the price. The price of this bike in relation to the features that this bike is loaded with is crazy, in my opinion. It's just got so much stuff. You've got tyre pressure monitor sensors, you've got the heated seats, the heated grips, you've got the cruise control, you've got the traction control, you've got the Bosch ABS, the 4 modes. It just comes with so much. It's just loaded with it for the price. So in my opinion, that's definitely a pro. Another pro, the luggage. The luggage is lovely. I've been staring at it in front of me all day with Richie Vida riding around with the full luggage setup, and it looks elegant, it looks classy. I mean, the right hand pannier looks a little on the small side, but they always kind of do because you have to account for the big silencer, which, you know, is never going to give it a lot of space without making it super wide. So I think they've got the balance right. But the fact that those panniers and the top box and everything like the little netting on the top of the top box and the liners and stuff, £499. That's absolutely scandalous. I thought there was a mistake in the print when I saw that, because I'm used to, you know, in the past selling BMWs, and their luggage was like £1,500 full luggage. Same with the Tiger Sport 800 that I've just reviewed. When you look at the luggage, you've got £680 odd for the panniers, £300 for the top box, but then you've got all the mounting stuff on top, which is extra moolah. You've got the locks, you've got the colour-coded panels, you've got backrests and everything like that, and it mounts up and it's an extortion. Not with these panniers. So for the fact that you can get them for £500, it's absolutely awesome in my opinion, because you can end up with a fully loaded adventure bike for quite cheap by comparison of all the other adventure bikes available. Another thing I want to compliment this bike on is the looks of it. I think it's well put together, the build quality is lovely, the seat, the stitching is gorgeous, everything looks robust. I mean, on first glance, you could be forgiven for thinking that this is a Ducati Multistrada parked up. I've often thought it today when all the bikes have been together, I'm like, oh, that's giving Multistrada. And
it's funny because it's giving multi-strada from the profile, from the beak. When I'm on the bike and I'm looking at the other ones in my mirrors, the way the lights are is kind of giving the new BMW R1300 GS, because it's almost like a cross light, but it's got another like set of LED lights as well. But when you look, you think, oh gosh, that actually looks a little bit GS-y. And then from the back with the cross and the panniers, it looks expensive. It looks expensive. It does not look like a cheap bike, even though it is a relatively cheap bike. Another thing that's great about this bike, we've got so much adjustability. We've got fully adjustable KYB suspension all round, including the front and the rear, according to the specs. Although I know that you need a C-spanner to adjust the preload, but it does say that it has full adjustability. Along with the suspension adjustability, you've just got little things that make life easier. You've got adjustable span levers, which is great. You've got adjustable shifters. So today, a lot of the gents I've been riding with have, got much bigger feet than my size 4 clodhoppers here. So I found it absolutely fine. But you can get the gear shifter moved like this, so it extends it a little bit. And all the gents with the bigger feet were saying how much more comfortable it was shifting, and they were like, oh yeah, that's much better. So yeah, just little things like that, just attention to detail and just thinking about the rider. So yeah, I like that. That's definitely a pro. Another pro, this bike is mega comfy. We've done a fair bit of motorway mileage today just to, bash off some of the long haul stuff so we can get to the fun bits. But it's actually quite a good and decent test for an adventure bike, because at the end of the day, if you're getting one of these bikes, motorway riding probably is on your horizon. So yeah, the motorway riding that we've done today, super comfy. The riding position is brilliant. There's so much adjustability. You can, turn the bars, like bring them, just roll them forward or back, just to how you'd like it. But just box fresh for me. I've really liked the riding position. It's got a nice, neutral, comfy rider's triangle, which is great for this kind of bike and doing a lot of miles. The screen in the lowest setting, I found it really good today. It's been great, no complaints. Cruise control, easy to use. The heated seat, oh my days, and the grips. So I have just been on the motorway in total comfort, thinking this is a comfy adventure bike, and I have to mention that in my pros. Another thing, and I've just touched on it, the heated stuff, it works amazing. All the lads were laughing at me because they were like, did you try it? And I was like, yeah. I had the seat on 3 and I had the grips on 3, and they were like, 3? Are you a psycho? Yes, I am, because if I was a guy, I'd like my chestnuts roasting. Don't quite know what the female equivalent is to say on that matter. I'll let you guys get creative in the comments. Sorry, mum. But yeah, heated seat, heated grips, they get hot, they get warm, they're not redundant, they're not useless, and the fact that they come included and they're not optional extras and they're just included in that price, I think is phenomenal. Another pro, the induction roar is quite addictive. It sounds like nothing I've ever kind of known before. It's quite strange actually, but yeah, I like it. It's funny, and it does just goad you to just smash on that throttle and just make the noise. So yeah, I like the induction sound. It's quite good. And then finally, I guess my final pro will be the dash, the 7-inch TFT dash. It's lovely. It displays everything so nice. You've got the miles an hour nice and big. You've got your rolling, MPG in the middle of the revs. Then you've got all your information buttons, so you can press I and it'll scroll through your tyre pressures, it'll scroll through your odometer, your range, all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, I think it shows a lot and it just works really well. And it's bright and it's nice and it's just 7-inch, it looks expensive. And yeah, sometimes you can find that bikes that are built to this price kind of scrimp on things like dashes, but it doesn't feel that way with this. Okay, moving on to cons. There's got to be cons, you've got to find them somewhere. And just going along, I think I've found a few. One of my cons is this bike is deceptively tall. Do not be fooled by 820mm on the spec sheet, because I've been riding around on a Triumph Scrambler 1200X for the last week, and that has a seat height of 820mm. And my feet are pretty much balls of the feet down on either side, no dramas.
So today, when I knew that we'd be moving this around a lot and tight turning circles on uneven terrain in the Trough of Bowland, I thought it'd be fine. 820mm, that's a piece of cake. No, this is so tall, the seat is so wide, it splays your legs out, and I didn't expect it to be so tall. So yeah, that caught me out. So deceptively tall, which is definitely a con if you're built like me and you are a hobbit-sized human. To go along with this, I would say, as well as it being quite tall, it's also a little bit top-heavy, I can't lie. Not to the extent that I find like the Africa Twin Adventure Sport or the Triumph Tiger 1200s. I find them more top-heavy because they are generally taller bikes. But, you know, the side stand leans over quite a lot, so it's quite a weight to try and hoik off the stand. For a punk ass like me anyway, so yeah, I would definitely say it is a bit lardy to kind of move around if I'm giving you a reflection of how it is for me. So another con to this bike, what I will say is on paper, 997cc, you know, V-twin, you think that it might be a bit of a powerhouse being 1,000, but it produces 88.5 brake horsepower. And just the way this bike delivers its power, it almost feels a little bit underpowered for what it is. Like I was expecting more from the engine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not a good engine, because we were still flowing around the bends today, and you know, it has got the grunt and it has got the power, but it doesn't kind of have that peppiness and that urgency that I have with other engines. For example, similar brake horsepower engines in similar kind of bodies, V-Strom 800, DE, RE, Transalp. You know, I do feel like those engines feel more peppy and urgent compared with this. It's not that it is sluggish, like it's absolutely fine, and it's definitely a bit better in sport mode, like for the initial, you know, get-go. Runs out of steam a little bit quicker than I'd like, if I'm being truthful with you guys, but I'm spoiled and I get to ride so many different bikes and so many similar bikes. But if you were somebody, you know, wanting their big first adventure bike and you've come from an A2 licence or something like that, this will probably blow your socks off. So it's all relative and it's all experience dependent. So yeah, I'd say that it isn't the zestiest engine on the market. And then finally, you know, we've been quite heavy on the brakes in some instances today, and it's not that the brakes are adequate, the brakes will stop you, but I just like a bit more from them, if I'm being honest. That's my personal preference. Again, like I say, they're not dangerous and they will stop you, but I just like a little bit more urgency just from the front brakes alone. I found myself having to really use the back brake as well to get the stopping power that I was expecting, kind of just from the front brakes, if that makes sense. But that's just my opinion. Like I say, I get to ride so many bikes with really sharp brakes, and that's just kind of how it felt. But then again, you know, it is a bit of a beast and it is trying to stop a lot. So yeah, I'd say they're my cons. Right guys and girls, well I hope you've enjoyed this. What do you think about the Morbidelli T1002V and VX? Do you like them? Do you think they're good? Have you ridden one? I mean, I think they look beautiful. I think they look really pretty. I think the build quality looks great. Of course, time will tell, being such a new model, with the longevity of it, holding up in all weathers, all conditions. You know, only time can tell that. But on the surface, what we've seen today and what I've ridden, I really like it, and I've enjoyed my day around the twisties on the Morbidelli. Alright guys and girls, well take care, and I'll see you all in the next vlog. Bye!